I don't think I want to retire in the traditional sense of the word. I know that because I rent, I am going to need additional income in my retirement. When I hit 67, I am not going to be able to rely on a big fat pension along with the state pension, and everything will be hunky dory, and I'll be comfortable and well off and be able to travel and do exactly what I want. I know that's not going to be my future, but it also doesn't mean that I can't have a retirement that makes me happy and the one that I am comfortable living. I think what I will be looking to achieve is having enough income to have a very similar lifestyle to the one that I have now in the early part of my retirement. I see retirement for me as being in at least two sections. So between, and these are only rough thoughts in my head and rough guesstimates, that between 67 and 75, that is what I would class as the youth of my retirement. I am going to assume I'm still going to be quite physically active or able to move as the same as I am now, for, without any issues walking. Fingers crossed that is, that my knees and hips and anything else don't give out, and I'm able to live in a very similar way to the way that I'm living at the moment. So, and part of that will be driving, and earning the money, running my business, and earning this money to support my perceived lifestyle. I still don't know what I'm going to be doing in retirement. I'm not one of those people that has big plans to travel the world. That's not really ever been part of my view of my retirement. I think the occasional visit abroad would be nice, but I'd also like to travel the UK. There's a lot of very beautiful places that I'd love to go to. So being fairly active is going to play a big part in that. So as I say, in this first part of my retirement years, I'm sure there's going to be a better word for that, but I think the early part, the more active part of my retirement, I'm going to need a similar amount of money, of income, to what I've got now. In the second part of my retirement, so from 75 to 85, I am not being morbid on this, but if I say 85 is my expected life expectancy, my mum is 92 and still going strong. She does have dementia, and she's not particularly mobile because she refused to have a knee transplant back in decades ago. But she's still alive and she's still fairly healthy at the moment. So there is a possible chance that I might live to 92. But if I say 85 is where I'm going to put my plans to, and then if I do live longer than that, then excellent, so be it. And that I'm expecting that section of my life to not be so active, so I don't think I'm going to need a similar sort of income. My thought process is that, so if I've got my business still running from 67 to 75-ish, then I can work as little as I want to, just to keep my income topped up. I'm also going to be looking at other forms of income if I can make that work. I've got YouTube. I'm hoping that will give me some sort of income, although I don't know how it will work out. And I don't know whether at some point I may find an income from another source unknown as yet. Backup plan, or plan B, for this section is if something happens to my self-employed business, I can think about working part-time elsewhere. So I don't think I'd want to go back to an office and work part-time as an accounts assistant. I think that would be too demanding. But I was thinking maybe part-time in a shop or a supermarket, or I don't know, something like that. I don't know, but that's my plan B. The fear, of course, is always at the front of my mind that will I have enough money to pay my rent? Rent is only going to go up. In fact, everything is only going to go up. I don't think anything is going to come down in price, and I don't think anything is going to become free. Now, I know that there's the sort of safety net of the benefit system, and yes, that would possibly be plan C, but that's not my mindset. I want to be independent financially if I can do, because that was the way that I was brought up. You know, I am a baby boomer. I am the child of the quiet generation from the war years. So I was taught that you rely on yourself, you work hard, and you look after yourself and make yourself independent. You don't, you know, you do not rely on other people. So benefits and claiming them, for me, in my childhood, was not something that I came across. Now, that's not to say that people who claim benefits are wrong, or that, you know, people that have disabilities claiming benefits are wrong. I'm not saying that at all. That's not my mindset. I'm talking about how my childhood shaped my mentality. So I would like to be able to completely look after myself if I can. But if I can't, and I do have to rely on some benefits, possibly, if not all benefits, then I will do so, because I've paid into the system my whole life. I've worked hard my whole life. I had 10 years off looking after children, but my husband paid into the system whilst he was working, and I did have the 10 years off because he could do that. So clearly income is going to be a huge part of me looking at the countdown to retirement and beyond. It's going to be the most important section, I think. So although I want to slow down and I want to have a more simple lifestyle, and I want to be able to get out and about a bit more and just not be so focused on working and my business, I realised that it's going to play a huge part of my ability to be able to be independent and to look after myself. So slowing down is going to be a gradual process, and letting go, because I'm not very good at that, letting go of working so hard is going to be an emotional process. But I'll be charting my progress using these videos, and we'll see how I go. I don't really view this as a countdown to stopping, because I don't think anybody really is going to be stopping anything at 67. Work only forms a part of a person's life, although admittedly it's a huge part. It only plays a part. So the countdown is me being able to transition away from being full on running a business and making it work and bringing in the money. It's also going to be about learning to slow down and to let go and to not worry so much. And that's going to be a little bit difficult for me, I think. And that may be an aspect, an idea that some people haven't even considered. If you have been in a career all your life, it's going to be difficult to let go of that, to be home and not going to an office and working and doing your utmost and your very best every day. And for me, I will find that very, very difficult, but that's part of the journey. That's part of moving on, of reaching this next part of our life, and enjoying it, enjoying the process. So I'm hoping that it's going to be an easy one for me, but we'll wait and see. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this chat, and if you liked it, please think about subscribing to my channel, and I will see you in the next video.